But there can only be one when it comes to my book of the month. Now, I struggle with this because I feel like there's several that are actually worthy here. Everything except the toll, I feel like, was actually up for consideration. But I decided I've got to go ahead and do something because I can't just wait until March to decide that Shogun is going to be my book of the month. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick Shogun now because I can already tell this is going to be a book of the year candidate. I am not going to count this as eligible for January, February, and March. I'm going to pick it now for January, and then it's just going to count as my book of the month for January, even though I'm confident that the rest of it's going to stick the landing. Like I said, guys, I have already seen the miniseries, so I know the story and the way that James Clavell is telling it here. I'm not worried that it's not going to live up to it. I actually like this so much more than the miniseries because the miniseries really just focuses on Blackthorn, whereas this focuses on both sides of it, and you're actually getting to know things about some of those Japanese characters that I was really, really curious about while watching the miniseries, being like, why is that character? Why is Yabu like this? Why is Omi like that? What is Lord Toranaga thinking right here? What is Mirako doing? This, it actually kind of gives you all that side of it, and I feel like I'm getting the director's cut. You know, that's how it feels reading this. But this book is every bit as incredible as its legacy. I feel like it really does Stranger in a Strange Land very, very well. I love a good fish out of water story, learning about other cultures that are completely foreign to our own. That's something that's always going to be a theme that will land with me in a book like this. I'm still relatively new on historical fiction, so I'm saying this is going to be up there. It's going to be an all-timer for me, I think. I really am loving just how much I'm learning about not just the time period and not just the culture, but a lot of the other surrounding territories' history. Like there's a lot of stuff with the Spanish and the Portuguese in here that I had no idea about, and it's been very, very interesting to kind of learn that as I go. And I never feel like it's a history lesson. I'm not getting like an info dump or anything like that, but the way that the characters kind of put it into their dialogue, it actually makes a lot of sense. And there's so many characters in this. I'm very, very interested in learning to know more about. And where I'm at right now, like I said, I do know the main plot of the book, so I'm not going to have any major surprises there, but I do still feel like there have been several things that have surprised me the way that Clavell has explained it here, and it's hook and mouth, man. I just want to keep going, no doubt. So I said I did want to break this into 3 months. But, if I didn't have this channel, this probably would have been something I read straight through because I was enjoying it greatly. I cannot wait to get back to part 3 here relatively soon. So, like I said, I feel like breaking this over 3 months, it was going to be really hard for me to say, well, I'll wait until February or March to decide to call this my book of the month. Let's just get it out of the way. I'll call it my book of the month for January because this was the most fun I had reading anything in January because it's just that good. And I had a great, great reading month, and this one just kind of really stood above the rest, and I'm really, really excited to continue with it. So I'll just go ahead and say book of the month for January 2024. This is going to be Shogun by James Clavell. Plenty of time to catch up with me if you guys are still considering doing it. And if you can find this edition, I say go ahead and grab it now because it is becoming quite scarce.